Hey there, TikTok. How are you tonight? Come on in, guys. Join my live session. Welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. Let's get everybody connected here. All right. If you could hear me nice and well, say hello. Say that, yes, I could hear you. Hey there, Instagram, TikTok. How is the audio on your end tonight? Hi there. Hey there. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey. We're going to have a live Q&A tonight. It's Thursday. And we're doing this live session because last night we had a lot of technical problems and we had to cut it short last night. How does it sound on your end tonight on YouTube, McBean Immigration TV? Welcome. It's always nice to be before you guys. And also TikTok, Instagram, let me know how things are on your end with the sound tonight. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hey there, Kamar. Hey there, Annette, Jewel. Guys, I've been meeting with so many of you, and sometimes you quote me. You're quoting me in my own consultation, telling me about what you've heard me say on these live sessions. And I'm so delighted that you're watching, and even more delighted that you're coming in to join us in a private discussion about your immigration situation. Now, absolutely nothing beats a one-on-one with an attorney about your immigration problem. So I invite you, come on in, say hello, give me some hearts and likes. Thank you for those. So I invite you guys to book an appointment with us if you want to go deeper about your immigration problem, your immigration situation. Just book your consultation, where our consultation fee begins at $250, and get your meeting in with an attorney and see whether yours is a case that we can assist you with. If you'd like to learn more about what we do at McBean Law, just go on our website at mcbeanlaw.com/success and read the stories for yourself. Read the stories to see what we do at McBean Law. We believe in freedom to be your best in the United States. So type in freedom now because it is urgent. Freedom is urgent. It is not something to sit on. It is not something to wait for. It is something that you deserve and you need now. And so for those of you who are yearning for this freedom, I just type in freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. And awesome. Thank you so much. Type in freedom now and be encouraged by the discussion we're going to have tonight. Okay, so lastly, subscribe to our firm's newsletter. Subscribe at mcbeanlaw.com/subscribe so that you won't miss out on anything that we share each week to those who are on the inside. Tomorrow we have our immigration news summary, our top 7 that's going out. So get on our newsletter list so that you'll be in the loop. Now, I'm going to take questions just for half an hour tonight. And then I'll be back before you guys on Monday night at 9:00 p.m. Okay, 9:00 p.m. on Monday. Share this with your feed if you're able to. I don't know. Facebook isn't on right now because I couldn't get them tonight. I don't know what's going on with my connection to those on Facebook. So let's get started. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Freedom. Yes, 6 years. Someone says that she's been seeking freedom since she was 6 years old. Freedom would be nice. Yes, for those of you who have been here for a long time, okay? If you've been in the United States for a long time, you know, you understand that there is a pathway that could potentially be available to you if you meet the requirements. Every single person needs to meet a requirement, whether they've been here for 6 years or whether they've been here for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. The requirements remain the same for the most part. Don't lose heart, okay? Don't lose heart as you've been waiting all these years for your freedom. Freedom now. Thank you very much. Let's see. Let's see what you guys want to talk about tonight. Now, someone says, I'm here for about a month now. I need your assistance to change my status to stay here legally. So there is a process for individuals to change status, and then there's also a process to adjust status, which leads to a permanent change, permanent status change. Contact us so that we could look to see what we could do for you, whether you're eligible to just change your status, which means you're moving from one visa type to another visa type that's temporary. This person is, it sounds like he's still within a lawful period here in the United States. He's only been here for a month. And so it might very well be possible for him to change status or even extend his stay here in the United States. We do extensions of stay as well. So reach out to us to see what, if you have an option for that, okay? I have a US born husband is filing adjustment of status for my son. Is the 485 750 or 1140 for the child. So you go on USCIS's website. You want to get your case filed certainly before April 1st when the fees are going to increase. But if the child is under a certain age, I believe the cutoff is 14, then their adjustment of status, the application fee is less than the 1225, which is what it is currently. So check USCIS. I don't to see what the fee is for the child, whatever that the age of the child is. If the child is under, I believe it's 14. Now I've been waiting for my USCIS approval for 2 years now. Okay, what type of case do you have with USCIS? Because some cases, so your case, it's going to depend on the type of case that you have. All right, as far as how long it's going to be pending with them. Some people have a case pending at USCIS for a year or less. Others have cases that are pending for 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, right? Asylum cases are moving incredibly slow at USCIS. We've been hearing more and more about the asylum offices in various states that are not interviewing folks at a very large number. So there is a very significant backlog right now with what they call affirmative asylum applications, applications that were filed to USCIS, okay? Hey there, Michael, thank you, thank you. So now let's see. Someone says, and I'm going to put it up here, Dawn says that I applied for my husband and the stepchildren in October. His Social Security to work came quickly, but nothing for the kids yet. How long does it usually take for the children? Dawn, it's usually around the same time. It's usually around, 1 to 3 months. That's what we've been seeing. 1 to 3 months. So, but that's October, November, December, January, February. I think you're still doing, they're still doing fine. I think you should hold on a little bit. I don't think anything unusual or bad is happening. I think you're still okay. All right. Let's see. How long does it take for my EU citizen husband to move to the United States? To move here permanently, that's going to be through the green card process, and the person is going to go through the visa center process. But before that, the USCIS I-130 process, which is, I've been saying, 6 to 9 months for that approval. And then your spouse will have to go through the visa center. It depends on which city he's going to be interviewing at in Europe, okay? You're welcome. Thank you for that, Dawn. Now, let's see. Hey there. I see Instagram is joining. Someone is asking on Instagram, can I file my N-400 if I owe taxes for last year? I would say that, with your taxes and naturalization, it's something that you've got to take you've got to take care of, either through getting on a payment plan. You have to get on a payment plan or pay it if at all possible, because it can be an issue when you go in for your N-400 interview. What are the consultation fees? My fee is $300, okay? Now, let's see. I've lost all hope because my spouse has, let's get this back. Unfortunately, he had to go through consular processing and he has three DUIs. Yeah, that's significant. Okay, that is definitely significant. Reach out to us to see if there's anything that can be done in your with your husband's case. Um, that's a lot, right? One DUI is a problem for many people. It depends on what type of immigration process they're seeking. But when you have three, that's a big situation, big issue that you should definitely speak with us about. All right. Um, can my employer file EB3 for me? I have a graduate degree with 2 years of work experience. So, Rakesh, where are you? Are you here in the United States? Are you abroad? What type of job is this? What type of position is being offered to you in this EB3 category? Skilled worker. So you have a professional, you have a graduate degree plus 2 years work experience. There's a little bit more to it than that. We would have to take a look at the employer's qualifications as well. We always start with the employer to make sure that the employer can pass the perm process and the requirements that are required by the Department of Labor for that process. Reach out to us, have an appointment, a consultation with one of our business attorneys, and she will. One of them will guide you, and the company, most importantly, the company. We like to meet with the employers so that we can get a little bit more information about the position and their financial standing and their ability to file for you and take you through this process. But if you are here, Rakesh, in the United States and you've overstayed your visa, well, your company will not be able to successfully get you that green card, not here in the United States through adjustment of status. You would have to go back home and finish the process there, but you would need a waiver before you left America. So it's a very tricky situation. It's not impossible. It can still work if you're here in the US and you've overstayed your visa. Um, and also these questions about, I'm going to, tonight, for the sake of time, I'm going to bypass any further questions about case processing times, okay? I'm not going to answer those questions. Go on USCIS's website or check the visa bulletin to see what's going on with processing times, okay? All right. Um, I'm not registered with MetLife Legal. I don't know what that is actually. Um, For document checklist related to the I-29F, okay, check USCIS's instructions and the document checklist. Every form, friends, has a checklist or a list of documents that are required for you to include with your packet. Do some homework. Get going with your research. Pull up those PDFs from USCIS's website. Okay, let's talk some strategies tonight. I'm looking for strategic questions. That's what I'd love to be able to answer for you tonight and help you with. Okay. Um, Someone is saying, hold on a second. Instagram is going a little fast. Does a child outside of marriage affect you from becoming a US citizen? A child outside of the marriage, so out of wedlock child. Well, was the child born while you were still married to the person who helped you get a green card? Because if the child was born during that period when you were married to the US citizen who helped you get a green card and you're now going through naturalization, one thing to note is that the government will ask you to bring the birth certificates for all of your children. They're going to want to know every single child that you have in the US, when they were born, the dates. They'll do the whole timeline, and they like to put things together. They like the drama, I think. They like the drama. And so if the child was born during that time when you were with your partner who got you the green card, it can be an issue. Okay, we've dealt with that many times. There's a way of handling it. It's a very delicate situation. So the first question I have is, when was the child born? Where were you in your immigration journey at the time? Was the child alive, born during the time when you were even going through the green card process, but you omitted that child from either an application or during an interview, you didn't mention that you have a newborn? These are the types of questions that we would ask one-on-one with you to determine whether it's going to be a problem for you during citizenship, okay? So reach out to us, have a consultation so that we can go through those questions. Um, let's see. Do not start any question off tonight, guys, with how long does it take? Those questions I'm bypassing. I'm really bypassing all case processing questions tonight, okay? Let's just talk strategy, all right? So someone is asking, can an undocumented immigrant apply and get the ITIN number? Yes, it's for individuals. The ITIN process allows you to report your taxes and your earnings, and so yes, an undocumented person can apply for and get an ITIN number. All right. How do I? Uh, um, so is there a backlog on the citizenship, the naturalization hearing application? I don't, I don't think so. I know that we had one, we had a hearing a few weeks ago, and we testified about that victory for the client. I can't quite remember how long that application was pending, but I don't remember in that particular case, hearing the staff complain about how long it was taken. I think it might have taken a year, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Now that if I remember the content from our story correctly, I think it took about a year, um, which, this is immigration, so a year is not like entirely too long for any form, truly. Okay. What other questions do you guys have for me? Um, let's go down here. I'd love to be able to, let's do that. Um, uh, If you continue to spam me on McBean Immigration TV, I'm gonna try to block you because it's very confusing. So no spamming, guys. No spamming policy. There are a lot of people waiting for a question to be answered. All right. So please do not spam. Otherwise, you will be banned. All right. And I don't want to do that to you tonight. Um, Someone says here that my husband's father started filing for him, but he died the case was started in 2018. He died in 2019. So I'm sorry to hear that. Our government does have a process called humanitarian reinstatement. There are a number of factors that we're going to have to look at to determine whether this is a case where humanitarian reinstatement can happen. The one big drawback with humanitarian reinstatement, number one, it can be incredibly tough to get, particularly from the USCIS. The second issue with humanitarian reinstatement is that it really does take a very significant, there's a significant years, it takes years for the government to even make a decision on those cases, but it's well worth the wait if your petitioner died and you don't have any other pathway to a green card. So I would recommend that your husband should reach out to us to see whether he might be eligible for that process because it's very particular. Let me go back here actually to, okay. So now some interviews are still being waived. Yes. Let's see. Someone says, U.S. citizen wife vehemently refused to help him to adjust his status. What is the way forward if your spouse has refused to help you adjust your status? Sam is asking. Okay, so Sam, this goes back to what I always say. What is the reason why your wife is refusing to help you? Is it a lack of understanding? Is it a fear of the process? Is it a money issue? Is it a problem on her end with her taxes or her documents, and she's afraid of being exposed for certain reasons? Sometimes, here's one thing to note, guys, and this is, I'm not saying that this is Sam's case because I don't know his situation at all. Sometimes you get into a situation whereby you come here and you marry a US citizen, only to then learn that that US citizen have very deep financial problems and deep financial needs. Okay. And then the relationship takes a completely, can take a completely different turn of manipulation, of extortion, of trying to get that money out of you, financial abuse. That is abuse, okay? And you should never ever take that kind of thing, all right? And threats related to the money and this and that, or taking all the money out of the bank account, emptying the joint bank account, running up your credit card, doing all sorts of fraud with your credit card. Guys, real talk, all of this happens every day with immigrants. They are abused in these marriages. That's one way things go south, in which a person can then withhold applying for you under based on manipulation, because he or she wants you to give them more money before they even sign a I-130 petition on your behalf. That's abusive. That's manipulation. That's a lot of emotional abuse. Verbal abuse can sometimes come with that, and they can put you down in front of the children or in front of other people, belittle you, make you feel less than a man or a person, or shame or gaslight you. It can get very, very bad if you marry the wrong person and you don't have papers. Now, so that's one type of way, so to speak, that the spouse can refuse to help you, or the reasons why they're refusing to help you, all these other abusive behavior. Another reason why they may refuse to help you may not be abuse related. It could very well be, well, maybe they are in Section 8 housing, right? They're getting subsidized housing, and they're not even, or some welfare benefits, and they don't want to be exposed through welfare fraud, based on welfare fraud, if they file for you. So sometimes they lure immigrants into these marriages, but yet then they don't want you to even live with them, and then you can't even go on the lease. And then you're really stuck from that point on, because immigration expects you to be together. If you're in the same city, immigration expects you to have a marital home. So sometimes these are the real dirty things that happen behind the scenes that really hurt immigrants. So be very, very careful with the marriage cases. Now, the way to go forward, Sam, I don't know which scenario you're in while your spouse is vehemently refusing to help you adjust your status, but if any of this kind of sound familiar to you, definitely reach out to us so that we could discuss whether you have a way forward on your own for a green card, okay? So Melody is asking, lawful status can a green card by employment. How do you obtain lawful status by employment? So Melody, I like saying that word. It makes me feel good. It's such a pretty word, right? Name, Melody. There's a song called Melodies of Praise. I like that melody. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, so employment. Ooh, there are many ways. Okay, where are you? Are you here? Have you overstayed? Same analysis. Are you overseas? Do you have any connections here? Are you connected to like an employer that does H-2B visa, seasonal workers, and there's so many things, so many ways. But if the bottom line is the green card through the employer for those who have overstayed in America is not something that is easily attainable, adjustment of status would be out, all right? But Melody, if you have some credentials or an employer who's interested in filing for you, and maybe you're overseas and you don't have a bad record with immigration, then reach out to us. We'd be happy to speak with you about this. What options do I have if I've stayed with my husband who is a green card holder? What can I do? So if your husband is a green card holder, that's a great thing, right? Because if particularly if he can become a US citizen. So let me back up. That's a good thing. It's just a good thing that you're married to a green card holder. It will be a great thing once he becomes a US citizen, because at that point everything shifts for you. You could adjust your status if you're otherwise eligible for it, which means that if you meet other requirements for adjustment of status. But if your spouse just files for you with his green card, it's just going to be that the I-130 approval. It offers limited protection for you, and I'm very much advocating one-on-one in consultations with individuals this year that if you have just an option for an I-130 and you cannot go any further, this is the year to do that. Why do I say that? I say that because it does offer that limited protection in the event, and I'm just going to say it like this, guys, that next year, this time, February 15th, 2025, we turn on the news and they're talking about President Trump, President Trump, President Trump. That's all we're going to be hearing, President Trump, President Trump. If that's going to be our reality next year, this time, well, try your best now to take the baby steps that you can to show that you're in line. You're in line for that green card. I-130, it's just a limited opportunity for you to have your receipt notice in the event that, you're ever detained or something, that you're trying to go through the process to become fully legal in the United States. So through that green card holder spouse, he can start that process for you so that you can get your I-130 approval, but no adjustment of status until he becomes a U.S. citizen. I don't know what I don't know about that. Courage to serve. Tell me what that is. You guys have heard about that? I don't know what courage to serve is. Somebody says they want me to talk about that. Beth, you need a consultation. I feel you. Have it with me, okay? Have it with me. I think my schedule is good these days, so have it with me. So now let's see. Let's get some questions here from you guys over there, right? Don't start any questions with how long does it take? I'm ignoring every how long is. That's all that TikTok is asking me tonight. Come on, TikTok, could do better than that. No more how longs, please. Someone is asking on TikTok, I just got my green card. Can I let my son from out of the country visit? What are the requirements? You just got your green card. Can I let my son from out of country visit? Oh, can you bring your son here? Yeah, you can start by filing for your son first. You could file. Are you going to be filing? You're talking about just visiting through like a visitor's visa process. Well, that's easy. You could fill out a visa application for the son, but you remember, keep in mind that embassy, the embassy will require you showing that he's going to go back home. But if you can start a process for the green card if your ultimate intent is to bring him here permanently, which is always a really good thing to do. Get them their status, and you can do so with your green card. All right, you'll just need that birth certificate and some other things to prove that you're the parent, okay, and that's truly your son. All right, let's see. Someone says, okay, so I'm going to answer this just so that the spamming can stop right now. And this is going to be my last question there on YouTube. You got your work permit and advance parole in December. When is it safe for me to travel? It's hard for me to ban you. Okay, I couldn't do it. I feel good tonight. I'm not going to ban anybody, so I had to answer it. All right, I hope you appreciate this. I got my work permit and my advanced parole in December. When is it safe for me to travel out of the US to Africa? How long can I stay? Well, your advanced parole allows you to leave during that period that the government has given you. Okay. And so when you leave, there's no rule that says, okay, you must wait 6 months or three, there's nothing like that. I've never heard of anything like that. But you can go out for a few weeks if you want, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. What part of Africa are you going to? I love Africa. I love it. I love it. I wish I could go to Africa this year. It's one of my favorite places. Guys, I've got to get going. I promised my husband that I'm gonna work out with him tonight in our basement. I haven't worked out in several days now, so he's waiting for me. And so I'll be back before you guys on Monday night at 9 o'clock p.m. 9 o'clock p.m. Bella, hold on to your question until Monday at 9 p.m. And I will for those of you who want to go one-on-one with me or with one of my colleagues, they're so smart. Just reach out to us so that you could have individual attention. Come prepared. I like it when you come to my meetings prepared. Anyone who's ever met with me, you know what I'm going to ask you. So what questions do you have for me today about this? Come prepared. I don't rush my meetings. I am not rushing your consultations because I want to help you, and you're going to see that genuinely. So it's never a rush situation with me, at least not anymore. Okay. Back in the day when we were overwhelmed, it was always a rush, but not anymore. I want to get to know you and I want to get to know your problem. So reach out, have a consultation with us so that we can go deeper. 888-462-4006. Go to our website now. As a matter of fact, if you'd like an appointment, go on McBean Law's website, fill out our contact form /contact, mcbeanlaw.com/contact, and put in your request. And tomorrow morning, either Martha, Mary, or Donna on our team will call you and schedule an appointment with you. Guys, have a terrific night. Gotta go get my workout in. Thanks so much. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.